Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Tyler.
And I'm Luke.
And this is episode 12 of Holy Heck, I Really Like Love Live, our show where we go into detail on every single Love Live song from the beginning until now, analyze them, give our opinions, and just kind of talk about them in general. So, real quick, it is Friday right now. You have one more day to go ask us some questions on our Q&A video that we're going to have tomorrow, September 9th at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you haven't asked questions, or you did, but you want to ask more, please feel free to click a video in description and then ask us some questions.
Super excited.
I'm like, one day away, dude.
one day away, as we say this on Wednesday. Oh, I don't even know where
apologies in advance if you hear some planes or something. I have my window open right now, which I never do, but I recorded with it closed last night and I wanted to die. So I'd prefer to not have heat stroke while recording this 50-minute plus episode.
Hot boy.
So last time, we asked if you could have any two girls switch solos, who would they be? Like, what girls would you have switch solos? And we have like an all-time low for comments on this one. So, our first one is going to come from Raul Alvarez. I'm having a really hard time with this one, but I think I'd be really curious to see Hanayo and Nico switch solos, because even though Nico is my best girl, I don't like Maho Shoujo and Madoka Magica at all. Both the backing and Nico's performance. Wakudoko is my favorite song. I'd like to see how much my opinion of both songs might change by swapping the characters. This assumes Hanayo would stay in her sweet, sweet alto voice.
Wait.
Huh?
Did you say Madoka Magica in there?
Yes.
Was that on purpose?
What? Yes.
Wait, where does it say that? I'm looking at it.
It keeps saying Maho, and I don't know how to say the rest of the song. So.
Okay. I just had to make sure. Okay, go on. It was just so seamless. You were so seamless there.
Yeah, I totally agree with this one. It's I thought about this before, mainly with Junai Lens, right? Because I feel like the only reason I like Junai Lens, like the amount I do, is because Nozomi is there singing, and as you guys know, I love me some Nozomi. But I feel like if it's a girl I didn't necessarily really care about that much, like, well, I don't want to say don't care about that much, because I care about all girls, but if it's a girl that was, I liked a little bit less than Nozomi, like maybe like an Ellie or a Nico, I'd still probably like the song a little bit, but it probably wouldn't be super, super great for me. Like, I totally understand where you're coming from, how, like, you might listen to a song that you don't necessarily like too much because your favorite girl's in it, or in this case, probably not, because you don't like Maho Nico song at all, so... Or maybe you do, but just not as much as the others. So yeah, I totally get where you're coming from. I'd really like to see the dynamic here. I've always wanted to see them just kind of switch solos just for the sake of it. You feel?
Yeah, I think that would have been pretty interesting to see those two switch. Second comment is from Queen Krisu, and in it talks about how they'd like to see Nozomi and Hanukkah switch. You get to see Hanukkah do a kind of like a goofier song, which I think would fit her really well. And you get to see Nozomi do kind of more, maybe like an uplifting, energetic song, and but not quite as like silly, but not exactly silly, but just more energetic, more more fun. And I think that would be a really interesting switch. That's something that I'd totally be down for, because like Honks is pretty silly, so I think that would be something that'd be fun to listen to.
I think Honk could totally pull off Junai Lens. Like when I was just saying. And I was just saying 2 seconds ago that, like, Ellie would sing Junai Lens. I was, like, thinking about that. I was like, that wouldn't work. Like, that would not work at all.
They're also a little salty that Nozomi wasn't the center for Snow Halation. I feel that. Can we get some silly halation?
I mean, solo mixes, yeah, that exists. We can get some silly halation. We can just delete Honoka from the song entirely. It's just vengeance. So today, we're going to start with Happy Party Train, which is... not at all in the same time period that we're normally working with. Like, this is after the show song. Yeah, this is after the show songs, after the Blu-rays. This is after everything. This is really recent.
We wanted to get some Aquas in there, like, to kind of split up the big Muse. We've kind of had a Muse brick wall, and we're about to have another Muse brick wall.
Yeah, so we're about to hit another Muse wall.
Yeah, so we kind of wanted to get a little bit of Aquas in there to kind of break it up.
and we couldn't talk about Aqours show songs because that'd be a multi-episode affair too. So we're just like, Happy Party Train, yeah, throw it in there.
We'll just slot it on in there.
Also, next time, very special guest who's already been on the show. If everything works out, EJ should be on the next episode, so you can look forward to that. That's pretty hype, isn't it?
Yeah, that's hypey. The boy's back again.
So we have 3 songs. We got Sky Journey. Wow, that's not the first song. We have Happy Party Train. We have Sky Journey, and we have Shoujo Ijou no Koi ga Shitai. And I feel like all these songs are really good. Like this is an extremely strong single.
This has to be like this is one of my favorite like full CDs. Like the 3 songs on the CD are super solid.
Yeah, like if you only had like, I don't know how much it costs to import a CD, but like you only have $15 in your pocket. You're like, man, I want to get the most bang out of my buck for songs that I like on one CD. Like this is pretty high tier.
Yeah,
like,
this is right up there.
I have a few emergency CDs in my car. They're just in case I'm in an area with no like radio reception and for some reason I can't connect my phone with Bluetooth. I got like a Foo Fighters CD in there. Like I'd put like the Koku Hakubiori Des CD in there. I tried to buy it, but you can't buy it anywhere apparently.
Billions.
So, yeah. So you want to hop into Happy Party Train? This is a really good song. I'm so ready to hop into. Oh, okay.
Happy Party Twain.
Happy Party Twain. Happy Party Mark Twain. Okay, so an important thing to note is just to be safe for the backing for this song. Like while we talk over the instrumental. Is there even an instrumental for this song?
Yeah, there is.
There's an off vocal to this one, but not the other 2. Okay. I'm going to make it the PV TV length, like not the whole thing, just to avoid any potential copyright issues. So if you keep hearing the same part, sorry about that. Blame Lantis, not me. So
right.
You ready to hop into this?
Let's Happy Party Twain to go.
That's a topic of discussion. We'll get there. There's a few songs that we do where we almost do. Okay, so a little background. We always listen to songs right before we discuss them, just to get any like last minute thoughts in here. And there's a small selection where it's just like we've listened to this song about 80 million times. Like, can we really gain anything from listening to this again? And this is one of them, just because of how many times Luke and I have both listened to this song.
Yeah, we just like sat around making memes together while we listen to this. Like we didn't talk about analytics at all because I think we can just figure it all out because it's really good and we listen to it a lot. Songs have been on the At Work playlist since day one. This
is one of the first Aqours songs that I ever got on my phone. Like
when
I made like my first big playlist to put songs on, like I always listen to songs off YouTube, and then I was like, wait a minute, this is data, and I just uploaded like 1 million songs to my phone. This was like one of the first ones I even downloaded, like let alone put on my phone.
Before we get to analytical stuff though, I wanna get a quick "I told you so" out there. Tyler hates Kanan, and then this song came out, and he doesn't hate Kanan anymore. Because I was like, trust me, Kanan's good at singing, and he was like, I don't know, man. And then this song came out, he's like, all right, you were right. And I was like,
hey,
the
don't discredit me.
Sweet taste of I told you so.
I never hated it. I never hate any girls. I hate that noise. I never hate any girls, but I did think Kanan was definitely one of the weaker members of Aqours before this song. Like full disclosure, this is when I was an uncultured swine, and I was like, I don't know, man. I mean, like, to be fair, in my defense, they did give Kanan a lot of really awful parts, like consistently.
Yeah, but the parts where she did sing, it was good.
Yeah, but then we got parts like in Daydream Warrior where she just becomes like Robo Kanan, but it's not cool like Robo Nozomi. And
yeah, well, like she says the same word like 2 or 3 words every time she's Robo form.
Like I feel bad for her legitimately. But the first time I heard this song, it was on a bus, and I was going to New York City, so I don't live in New York City, so I didn't have my computer. But then I got back to Luke and I was like, it's pretty great. And then I saw the live and I got back to Luke again. I was like, all right, yeah, Suwon, Kanan, they're pretty great. You're totally right.
No, yeah. One other small quick thing before we get into analytics. Can we talk about the refrigerator real quick? Can we just mention this? When we first watched the PV, Tyler knows a little bit of Japanese, so like at the end when they're saying hi to Kanan when she gets back, he like was saying what they were saying, and
so we got Chica. I can't remember exactly what they said right now, but the first thing Chica says is "Welcome back," and then I think Kanan says it's good to be back, and then Yo's like, "We waited for you," and then Ruby comes out, and it sounds almost like she's saying Reizoko, which is refrigerator. So I just say out of nowhere, "How is your refrigerator?" And
yeah, you're just like saying it all. I lost it, and it's still like whenever I see the PV, all I can think of is, "Wow, how is Kanan's refrigerator?" I'm just super curious now. I'll have to message Suwa somewhere. Be like, hey, how was your refrigerator?
How was your refrigerator? Was it good? Maybe they'll have one live.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, that'll be good. No, I think the song's super good. The backing is pretty neat in it. And I think vocally, like this is one of my favorite Dias. Like between these 3 songs, they have some of my favorite like Dia performances ever.
Oh, I was about to mention that in Sky Journey, but yeah, like both of these songs I think fit Dia's voice really well. I think Dia does a really good like deeper kind of voice, and it doesn't have to be
yeah.
Like I think it fits her in Majuka Dreamer pretty well. Like that kind of, you know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about the beginning part.
I totally know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Just kind of like a deeper, like not necessarily getting super high up there, like maybe like Yo, Ken, or Mari, especially.
She sits pretty middling, and when she does that, she does really good for herself, I think. In that kind of mid-range,
Mm-hmm. So it's important to note that this song was actually this is the result of a vote, of a popularity poll, and the winner got the song. And surprise, surprise, Japan really likes Kanan. If you guys didn't know, Japan is a big fan of Kanan. Japan also has the worst taste of all time because I have Ruby and Mari super low consistently. So what are you doing, Japan? Come on.
Ruby consistently low feels bad. I think she's been 9th in every poll.
No, I'm pretty sure there was one poll where she was not 9th.
She was like 2nd in some poll, but Chica's been 6th in almost every poll, so that's the devil. I think another really good vocal performance is Yoshiko's doing her solo. Like, it's so good. She's so incredibly clear, and she's so like spot on with every note. Say again?
Doesn't it remind you of Rin?
Yeah, I was thinking of the same thing. Like I don't think she's normally that incredibly clear, but like in this song in particular, she's so spot on with every note. She's not sliding around a lot, which isn't a bad thing at all. But I think it's really nice to kind of see that when that happens. It's
just so
I can't get all that voice out of her little tiny body.
Like, just put Yoshiko in anything. Hey, Icon, like sing this part, okay, and then. It just works no matter what. Like, hey, Icon, sing really high, and then Waka Waka Week happens. It's like, hey, Icon, chill out in mid-range, and then, a Happy Party Train. It's like, hey, Icon, like, do your deepest voice possible, and then we get Happy Party Train, Strawberry Trapper.
Yeah, I love the demonic voices in Happy Party Train. That's my favorite part.
But on the topic of Yoshiko, I don't think I mentioned that the order of solos in the song is actually the results of the poll, which is kind of cool. So at first we have Kanan, Yoshiko, Hanamaru, and then does Riko? No, Riko's on the second verse, and then there's the chorus, and there's the second verse, and that has Riko, Yo, Chika, Daya, Mari, and then Ruby for a fraction of a second. Rest in peace.
Hers is pretty good.
That's pretty neat. Like, at the same time, like, I always see stuff like this and I'm like, okay, like, I hope this isn't like a consistent theme, because I don't want like the lesser popular girls in Japan to consistently just get like the worst parts of all time and just be like, okay, you know, you kind of just hang out down there, like. But Ruby did get her vengeance with Sky Journey, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, I really like near the end Kanan's final solo. Like, her voice is kind of nasally at times, and I think this is a song where like that's pretty predominant, because this is one of the few times where we got to listen to her predominantly. And obviously I've gone over like my beef with Azalea, so I don't listen to a lot of Azalea, so I can't really listen to Kanan as much there. But I really like her solo at the end, and I really like how the instrumental kind of like drops out there. I'm a huge fan of dropout like solos where the instrumental like maybe doesn't fully leave, where it's a cappella, but it you know, it's very light and there might be only a little bit left to just accent them better. Yeah. And I really like the ending of this song.
She says Twain. That's always something that I look forward to.
She says Twain.
All right, on the topic of English of this song, this is a very important thing, and I couldn't wait to talk about this. So, a lot of people thought that they were saying "Happy Party Train Shugo," which is Japanese, and I'm not sure what it says like exactly. I don't want to give you a mistranslation, but like the general gist is like, you know, like to go, whatever. But they are actually saying to go, like going to a restaurant, like, yeah, can I get food to go? Like that, happy party train to go. What does that mean?
Did it say happy party? I thought it said happy.
There's one.
Yeah, the second one.
The first
I think
one.
They say happy, right?
The first one is happy. Oh, the first one's happy, and the second one is party. They never do happy party train.
Oh no.
Not even in the last one. Credibility lost. No, but
it's all lost.
Yeah, no, but in the song they say party train to go. Like, I mean, obviously it's supposed to be like, let's go on the party train. You know what I mean? Like, we'll go. Mm-hmm. But it's like,
I love English, man.
Party train to go. Like, what are you doing?
Whoever wrote this one was a little drunk at the time, but that's fine. It came out pretty good.
Yeah, it all worked out in the end, so does it even matter? So it's weird because whenever I listen to the song, I
think of refrigerators. That's what you think of.
Every time. No, at the very last chorus after Kanan solo, in the PV, they're up in space, right? And Kanan's like has the happiest expression to ever grace humanity. Like, meanwhile, all the girls are behind her. Yeah, all the girls are behind her. You know, they're all happy too. But I mean, you can't match Kanan's happiness. And that part makes me incredibly emotional. Like, watching it, I'm like, oh, like I feel myself well up a little bit. I'm like, this is great. This is also technically like the first thing I waited for with Love Live. Like,
yeah, I guess
so that's cool. Like, I mean, so, you know, I hopped on with Aqours, as I've said like many times. But it was just like a distant thing. Like, I was like enjoying Aqours. I was getting into Muse at the time, and then it was just like, oh, Happy Party Train is gonna come out, and we're like, whoa, what's Happy Party Train? And we heard about the popularity poll and everything, and then the PV came out, and that's when I decided, like, wow, you know, I almost said Hanamaru. Kanan is really great. Like, I don't need anyone to tell me Hanamaru is a good singer, but
yeah, she's really good in the song. She has a massive hand.
She does have a massive hand.
I totally just ruined that part for Tyler on our last viewing.
No, you didn't ruin it. You enhanced the part. So I was talking to Luke. Oh, stop. I was talking to Luke, and I missed the part in the PV where Hanamaru like does her little hand wave in the first verse, like, and I was like, I love that part. Go back. And so I watched that part, and then Luke's like, watch her hand as it goes down towards her face.
As she brings it down to her face after the wave. Yeah.
It does not belong to her. That hand belongs to a giant. If you don't believe me, please go watch that.
It looks super improportional. Just like everything looks off there. Like, I don't know if it's just like, I would usually say, oh, it's just because like it's animated for her hand to be far away from her face, but it's definitely not. Like, Hanamaru's arms aren't that long, probably, and
it's right in front of her face.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it. One last thing before we kind of move on.
Well, I'm not ready to move on yet. I got some more stuff to say.
I was going to talk about the lollies, which is the best little girl.
I like how with
That
Ruby they're
sounds-
just like made Ruby but smaller.
Thinking emoji?
Yeah, I
this is
wouldn't
the
say
first
that,
time. Yeah, this is kind of a weird wording. Maybe I should go back on this. No, I really like how a little girl Ruby is like. That's like the first time we get to see her. We'd seen everybody else in the anime, like as little girl, as little people. You know what? Am I broken? As children. There we go. That's the word. That's the word for little people. No, that's not the word for little people. Man, dude. I'm a broken man. No. We get to see everybody as like little kids except for Ruby, but like here we get to finally see little kid Ruby, and yeah, she's just Ruby but smaller.
I really like there. There's like always fan art out before of like everybody as kids, and they were all like super accurate except for Ruby, who was always just small Ruby, and then it turned out to just be small Ruby. That was pretty great. Okay, so I mentioned in Jimo Ai Montan Summer Life, that's the Yo-Yo Shiko duet, how any song that has a line cliche is my favorite song, no matter what. And this song has one, and I remember very vividly how I was on the bus listening to Happy Party Train at the time, and I was like, okay, you know, I feel it coming, but I don't want to like say it. I was like, if this chorus has a jazz cliche at the end,
jazz cliche.
I said it again, a line cliche at the end. I was like, this will make the song. And the part where they go, like the instrumental in the background is a line cliche. I was like, all right, I'm sold. I can't wait for this song to come out. So I mean, literally any song that has a line cliche in it, like please just feed it to me. I love it.
It's terrible.
Also, yeah, it's the worst. Can we talk about how good it is to be back to like 10+ minute talking about songs and not having 37 songs per episode? I really like.
It feels good.
Yeah,
3-song episode. We can talk about little people all we want.
Small things.
Like, oh my god, I was lost in words there. The entire like alphabet flashed in front of my eyes, and I tried to figure out which combination of letters was the best one to convey what I was trying to say.
Got like visions of like an angry mob outside your like house, like your credibility is gone.
Angry reacts outside. Yeah.
I think it's a pretty good time to move on to Sky Journey, right?
The actual best song on the CD, in my opinion.
You like Sky Journey more than Happy Party Train?
I love Sky Journey.
I mean, I like some Sky Journey. I'm sorry, the screenshot just flashed. Just I'm looking at the slideshow on the website of Happy Party Train, and the one with Mari. I like how Mari doesn't have a complete loop yet. Like, what time do you at what point in your life do you think she got a complete loop? Like,
Wait,
from when
does
she was a
baby
kid.
Mari not have a loop?
No, it's just like a little like piece of hair that's like hanging off her face until I don't know.
That is the deepest lore.
Play Sky Journey.
All right. Press 1 down below if you know when Mari gets her loop. Say pretty often we talk about how like great songs like songs will have these great like opening parts. This by like quote me quote me now, this is my favorite like opening of a song ever. I'm a big fan of like the instrumental in the background, like that very slow like piano playing up, and then like the sudden like they're just screaming sky at you, and I really like it.
Can you scream sky like you did when we watched it?
Sky! Yeah, you know you like it.
Luke and I were in the middle of a conversation. By the way, this is another one that we both really like and almost didn't listen to, but hey. I think we wanted to listen to it just for the sake of hearing the song because it's really good. But I'm
a big fan.
We were just in the middle of a conversation and Luke was like, oh, hold on. Sky! And just...
Dude, I gotta do it every time. I always hope I'm over like somewhere loud at work so I can sing to this song. So I can sing to that specific part.
It's so funny
when it comes
you say
up.
That. I do that stuff all the time at work where it's like I'm praying that like there's a machine going or like a jackhammer, and it's just like I can like actually just sing songs like normally and no one can hear me. That's my favorite.
Usually if I like sing a song, I'll sing most of the song, but with this one I only sing that part of the song. And we were talking about like good solos in the last one, and they're from soloists that like we expect from, you know. But I think this song has a lot of solos that surprised a lot of people. Like this until the Ruby Dia song was like pretty far and away my favorite Ruby solo, and it still is. Like it's super close with the Ruby Dia song, but this probably edges out that song with just like my favorite Dia performance. I think it's their like best, arguably their best performances each.
I always think of Dia like you always got me like you kind of put it into words when we started talking about Matete Ai no Uta on Aquarium. Like I didn't realize I thought about Dia consistently in that song until you told me that you did, and I was like, wait a minute, yeah, me too. And I realized like how pronounced she was in the third year parts. But anyway, going back to Ruby, we mentioned it in the past. Talk about my favorite girl. We mentioned it in the past about how before Landing Action and before Ruby and Dia's duet, Ruby has shown flashes of just being the greatest thing ever, but was extremely inconsistent. What were you gonna say? Were you about to say she's not the greatest thing ever? Come on.
Oh yeah.
No, vocally, like she's definitely not a power member. She's
pretty dang good.
Pretty good. Not as consistent as the other girls. But anyway, what I was saying, in songs like Yozora wa Nandemo and Sky Journey was like pretty much like the last one where she's like shown a flash as opposed to just being consistently good. There are performances like in Genki Zekai Day Day Day. Machuka Chimera is another really good flash, but I mean we only get it for like literally 2 or 3 seconds, so it doesn't matter. Where she just sings and it's just like you can do so much better, you know. And this is one of the last times where it was like like Ruby, you got this. Like, so I didn't know going into this that Ruby was the what would be the first one here, because I didn't know it was reverse order since you know she was the last one in Happy Party Train. But I was blown away when because you know this is on the same preview as Happy Party Train, and when I heard the preview I was like, wow, like I was not expecting that. Like she just came out of nowhere and just sang so well. And like the only thing I felt like a proud parent, dude. I was like, I knew you had it in you.
Yeah, she's pretty solid in this song, but I think like this is a really good performance by all of them. This is also, I think the CD overall is when I first was like, man, you know what? I talked about Rico having kind of boring parts, but I think this CD overall, all 3 songs, Rico gets some pretty great parts where she kind of starts doing this. Where she kind of changes up how she sings a little bit, and I enjoyed a lot more. Especially
coming from Happy Party Train. We didn't really mention it last time, but it's so powerful coming from the first chorus right into Rico's part. That's yeah. So that that was pretty neat. Just how like, you know, it's just, you know, you get like an instrumental break and then it's just bam, Rico, and it's always more powerful than if, you know, she were to just be right in the middle, you know.
Yeah, I think this song just has like fantastic vocal performances, but I think the real highlight of the song, you can say this is like some of, you know, this girl's best performance, but I think the real strength of the song is like it has very interesting backing. I think the instrumental is like super neat. They got so many weird instruments playing in the background. Like I understand that it's like it's more than likely a synth, but man, I just want that. I want that like. I want that synth to just be like. Could somebody do a cover of this song on an electric accordion for me, please? Like I really want that in my life.
An electric accordion.
Dude,
you're talking about
that'd be so good.
The instrument that they use like during the solo, right? That one.
Yeah. I want some electric accordion, and like I just feel like it would fit. I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't. Maybe it'd be the worst thing ever. But man, I want it.
All right. Are you ready to make the claim? We will have you on the show if you do an electric accordion cover of this song. Is that a fair thing to say?
Yeah, please do an electric accordion cover of this song and tag us in it, and we'll get a hold of you. No, this is one of my favorite. This is like probably a top 10, 15 favorite song of mine. Like I really like this song, and I remember when I listened to Happy Party Train the first time all the way through, I was like, man, that song was super good. Listen to Sky Journey, listen to the third song. I was like, these are really good as well. You know, put them on my phone, and the next day, you know, after a CD comes out, an album, you know, single, I like to listen to all the songs a lot.
Yeah, you gotta digest it. You can't
just like very quickly, I was like, man, Sky Journey for me just trumps the other two super hard. And it's one of those times where a side song really washes away the other two, or other one or two, or however many there are.
Mm-hmm. I disagree on that part. I mean, in terms of just like general listenability, I do like to listen to Happy Party Train a lot more than Sky Journey, but I can totally get where you're coming from, and it's just like a personal opinion how, you know, you think that like for example, like Listen to My Heart versus After School Navigators, like we talked about last time. You know, there's going to be people who are just not into metal, and they're like, listen to My Heart, like that is my jam, and they were like, you know, they will never ever listen to After School Navigators, and like that's totally okay. But yeah, it's just a matter of personal opinion. I definitely did like the song a lot more after I listened to it a few times. The first time I listened to it, I didn't at all think it was bad. Like I thought it was like really good, but it took me a while to just appreciate how good it was. You know, like it only got better from starting it really good. You know?
Yeah. I thought it was pretty good, and it just gotten better from there. It's been, you know, this and Happy Party Train have been on the Work Boy playlist since day one.
So it's important to note that this song had like a weird like center debacle going on, right? It was so strange. So I believe, okay, there's no info on this. I looked online, I couldn't find anything. Before, was this song a no center song?
Yeah, before the Happy Party Train, the first stop of the Happy Party Train live.
The first stop of the
tour.
Happy Party Train.
Yeah. Before the first stop, they it was a no center song, and then like I guess because of live stuff, because she was in the middle. I guess is because Furuin was in the middle, that Ruby was the center, and then after the second live performance, or after the second stop, then Chica was the center. And now Ruby's back to being the center. And then like 4 or 5 hours later, Ruby was back to being the center.
It was just so... Okay, so I'm in a lot of groups on Facebook dedicated to Love Live, right? And as soon as I saw that Ruby was the center, I was like, no way. Like, this isn't real. And, I mean, it kind of feels like leftovers, like getting a center for a song that's been out for a few months already. But just the fact that she had a center, like, this is her first center. Like, that's great. But... then it wasn't, and I was like really upset. Like I went on like a rant to friends that like don't know anything about Love Live. I'm like, how could you have no center songs before you give Ruby a goddamn center? Like, just give her a center. And they're like, are you ready to play video games? Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, don't worry about it. But yeah. So then Chica was the center, and like, listen, like Chica's not bad. Like I'm all for Chica having a center, but Chica has 80 million centers. Like, come on now. And then it's back to Ruby. So it's like, I don't know. Like I still, from the bottom of my heart, hope that Ruby just gets a natural center where she's actually the center and not like a pretend center a few months later.
This doesn't count.
Yeah.
This doesn't count. You're still in Nozomi hell.
We'll get out one day.
Yeah, I think this is a really good song. I think the backing is the real thing to take away, but vocally it has some really good performances from girls that we really hadn't got good performances from up until now. Up until then, I guess. So
it turns out it is a really good idea to listen to the song before we talk about it, because for the first time, like, I've listened to the song closely before, but I guess it just didn't register last time. I never heard, it's the pre-chorus after the solo. So the pre-chorus into the last chorus, where it gets kind of quiet, like you were talking about, a lot of the instruments fade out. There's like snapping, like hand snapping, and like I never noticed. And that's so great. Like, I can't believe I never noticed that. That's like such a huge thing to miss.
It's pretty good. It's a good one. Good song, good instrumental, good vocals.
Good song.
The song is good.
I also think it was really clever. Is that a thing that they do usually, where they just like reverse a poll order? Like I don't know if that happened any other time.
I don't think they've ever done that before.
So that's pretty cool.
Or have the poll order be in order like in a Happy Party Train.
So we're ready to move on to our last one.
The Last Boy, the unofficial kind of second year center song.
Kinda.
I don't know, dude. I always think of the second years when I listen to the song.
That's a Luke unofficial center. That's up there with Daya.
Yeah, that's in my unofficial record book.
So this is Shoujo Ijou no Koi ga Shitai, and this is the last song, and I mean, I like the other songs more, but this song still has its merits, right?
Sleeper banger.
You think so?
Every song is a sleeper banger.
It depends on who you're talking to. You're right. Not even on her own CD can Kanan get a good part.
Feels bad.
Even in this one.
She got all of her good parts already. She kicked out of the club.
Kanan is budgeted like 3 good parts per month.
Yeah, she's met her quota already. Yeah. Reached the end of her budget.
We didn't even know Kanan was like... We looked on the wiki, right? Because there's no color-coded ones of this one. We checked. We looked on the wiki, like we couldn't tell who was singing in the first part. So we knew it was Chika. But there was someone singing under her. And then we found out that this is broken up by duo trio songs. So we got Chika Kanan, Yo Yoshika, Riko Maru Mari, and Ruby Daya, in that order. And Kanan is the only one in parentheses because she's singing the harmony, but you can barely hear her. That's like, why are you doing this?
Everybody else sings in groups except for Kanan. Like I've always that's why I was always kind of like confused by it. I was always like, this is kind of a weird song that like they sing in groups except for Chika. Like I understand she's the main character, but like and like I never really thought about it, but then I realized like, where's Kanan at? Like I thought about that today. I was listening to the song. I was like, does Kanan not get a part? Does she not get a group? Did she use all up on the single?
I know this is like, you know, like Chika's got like a lot of centers. Like, come on. This is technically a no center song, but I mean,
it's a Chika center.
Yeah, I want to even by... Okay, so there's a section where it's like followed by standard Aqours order where like the song changes order. So that's Chika, Riko, Kanan, Daya, Yo, Yoshiko, Maru, Mari, Ruby. And even then, Chika's first, so it's like, it's another Chika center. So I did want to talk about our grievances with this song before we talk about the good things, because I think it's always good to end on a positive note. So, grievances. This song...
It's a synth pop song.
Oh, well, yeah, kind of. Not as much as Azalea, but it's still, you got the elements. But no, the big thing I wanted to say is this song just feels like a total reversion on everyone's part. Like, this song is like Aqours went back in time and did Kimi no Kokoro again. Like, this is Kimi no Kokoro 2, this specific song. and it's kind of bad because. Well, I don't mean the song is bad. I just mean like the situation, because like they've made so much progress until this point. Like even on this album, like Kanan has fantastic parts, Ruby sounds fantastic, but in this song, Ruby, I think it's arguably one of the worst performances she's had. Like if I'm being completely honest.
I mean, like she's still cute. Like I think everybody's vocal performance is like fine in this song, but I think that's where the issue lies, is that it's all fine, and while the rest of the CD is like really, really great vocal performances, this one just kind of comes out fine.
But I'm not done. Kanan isn't in this song, like pretty much, and like it's just really kind of like boring, like a lot of older like songs like Todokanai and what's the other song on Kimi no Kokoro?
Aqours Hero. Todokanai. Yeah.
No.
Aqours Hero.
Step 0 to 1.
There you go.
Where it's like the song is fine to listen to. It's just not that exciting, you know? It's just kind of like J-pop. Like that's it. I don't know. I just like my problem with the song is like back then, right? It's like we gave them the pass. Like we said it in the video. It's like, okay, like this is new. This is what they did at the time. Playing it safe, despite Aquarium being a little risky, but maybe we talked about that then. And they were playing it safe, and like not everyone was like situated in their roles yet. But in this, like this is past the show. This is past Blu-ray song. This is past everything. Like we know these characters. Like they have their roles. But like why is this song like treating it as if they don't?
I don't know. I think there's a little bit you can be said that like making a third song, they just kind of like slap something together, you know. And I think that's like pretty consistent between the three singles. You know, the third song just feels a little bit slapped together compared to the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
But like
especially
I said,
in Todokanai.
We've talked about songs being like overshadowed, and I don't really think this is, you know, Baby Maybe is like a totally fine song, and it's overshadowed by Snow Halation. We talked about it last week. But I think that's like a different situation where the songs are like equally as good, but one's just the most interesting song in all of Love Live.
Listen to My Heart and After School.
But I don't think this is a problem of like overshadowing. I think this is a problem of just the song is not as good. Just straight up not as good. I think the vocals are just so much weaker than the other two. They're like, and the other two are really strong vocally, and this one's just like fine, you know.
It's just, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like again, like it's not about the song being bad, because it's definitely not bad. Like I don't think there's a bad Love Live song, but it's just when you're next to these two songs that are just compositional, like just like acts of God, like it's really hard to compete with that, you know.
Yeah, this unfortunately for me, this song's like, and then it comes in with the instrumental that's synth pop, and I've talked about how I don't like synth pop. That's pretty well known. You know, Sky Journey's got a little bit of it in it, but that's like you know, what's the word I'm looking for here? That's like the outlier in the group, you know. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of synth pop. This is probably in like my bottom 5 favorite Aqua songs. You know, I don't think the songs, especially when you compare it to the other two on the CD, it's just so much weaker.
I know it's not necessarily fair that we're comparing the song to the CD, but like I feel like when you're analyzing the whole single, it's something that has to be done. You know, like it's like we're really talking about like the whole package here. You know,
yeah, you talk about like quality or quantity, and I feel like when you have a third song, like how consistent Aqours is with the third song on the CD being less good than the other two, then you're kind of losing out on quality, you know.
If the song wasn't on the single, like it would have not been a loss, you know. Like it would have had Happy Party Train and Sky Journey on the same CD, and that if that would have been it, that's like wow. Like I'm not saying I don't want this song to exist. Like don't think I'm saying that, but like if the complete package was Happy Party Train and Sky Journey, like it would have been fine, you know.
Yeah, and one last kind of negative thing I have towards the song that before we get into like stuff that I do like about the song, I think the ending is like super anticlimactic. It really fades out. But with that being said, the part before the ending I do like a lot. I don't like how it ends on that part, but I do like that part, right? Do you see what I'm saying? It doesn't feel like it should end on that part, but I do enjoy that part of the song.
It's really funny you say that because Sky Journey ends in a kind of similar way, but that ending is just so much better for some reason.
Yeah, it just feels so much better.
You know what I mean? Like it's just like the whole song kind of revolves around that kind of like like hitting a high note and then letting it trail off into an instrumental, and then except the last one is, you know, you're hitting a high note and then it doesn't trail off. That's pretty neat. But this song, it just kind of seems like it's just coming out of left field, you know. It's just, here's the ending. It's like, oh, like the song is over, you know.
And another part I really like in the song is the dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 right before the choruses and the pre-chorus. I really like that part. I like that part of the song quite a bit.
Like, what are you talking about?
But it doesn't go on super long. But I think that's probably my favorite part of the song consistently. Getting to that part, I think, is really good. But unfortunately, like, you know, one or two parts of the song don't make the song. It's the whole.
So I do think from the very start of the song, it sounds like how do I put this? It sounds like, you know those scenes at like the end of a movie where it's like, this main character went on to become a doctor, you know? Like
a little epilogue.
Yeah, like, where are they now? This song, it sounds like that at the beginning, where it's just kind of like, it starts off, it's like, where's Aqours now? It's like, Mari went on to become a cowboy.
yeah, Cowboy Mari. We'll have to save that. Just talk about Cowboy Mari. We could probably do a whole episode on talking about Cowboy Mari.
I don't exactly know how to put this, but I really like the amount of syllables they have in the chorus. I think that's really cool, and it's not necessarily something we see very often, and you know how we're all about unique things in Love Live. It's just where it's like, it's standard, like, dun, 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 and then all of a sudden I know it's like, dun, 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 dun. Like, it hits every single note, and I think that's really neat. Like, it kind of goes down in a reverse arpeggio, and it's just, wow, like, I gotta say, like, with all of our grievances for the song, like, I think that's really cool and actually pretty unique.
Yeah, the chorus is kind of neat. I agree. I like how in the chorus they're like, there's always words coming out of their mouth, which I think is pretty cool. And I think this is the kind of song that might be kind of neat live. This is one of the, like, I know I said I don't listen to the song very much, but like I can kind of imagine what the dance would be like, you know, what the choreography would be like. Obviously, it could be wrong. But there's not a lot of songs where you can like sit there when you're listening to it. You can just like think about what the choreography is going to be like.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said with Daring. How it was just like, the choreography exists, but hold on, let me figure it out. This song actually, the song was played at the live. It's like the third or fourth song, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty. I think it's pretty early. So I'm excited to be able to see that someday. Speaking of the live, this guy who doesn't live in Fairbanks, Alaska, with 60,000 people gets to go see it. Gets to go see a viewing of it. I'm pretty sad.
I did. I just bought my ticket today. Today being Wednesday, not Friday. But I did. I bought my ticket today. Same exact place it was last time for the first live. And I'm really excited because the live didn't get leaked this time. We still got a month to go. But it didn't. I don't know anything about this live. Like, I know the set list, obviously. I only looked up the set list because I was afraid that I wouldn't have a live viewing. Well, it's not a live viewing, but a recorded viewing. So I was like, oh, what do we got? So yeah. Oh, I hope I didn't spoil that for anybody. I don't know if that's that big of a loss or not.
Spoiler alert. 45 minutes into the episode.
Yeah. They play Happy Party Train at the Happy Party Train tour.
Thinking emoji? No, overall, like, we have grievances with the song, but just like every Love Live song, it's like totally serviceable, and it's got its moments where I think it really shines. It's just kind of hurt by some moments where it doesn't, you know, where it looks real rusty.
It's just the balance, you know, like in any given Love Live song. Well, I mean, for most of them, I mean, like in your 10 out of 10s, then no, but in most songs, you know, you're always gonna have a part where it's just like, oh, you want this part to be over, like, so you can get to the good part, you know, and it's like, it's just the good, like, massively outweighs the bad. Like, even if there's like a bad part at like the beginning, like, what is it? You're not into songs that have a bad beginning?
I can't do songs that have a beginning that I don't like. I can't do it, man. If the song doesn't hook me, I can't get into it.
Okay, I understand, but it's like, if you have a song that's just like, you know, whatever at some parts, but then you get to the good part, like whenever the good part is, it's like, oh wow, like I don't mind listening to that part to get to this part. And in this song, full disclosure, like I almost never listen to this song. Like this is like, there's one or two Aqours songs that like, I see the name and I'm like, is this some like hipster Muse song that I'm like not aware of? And then I listen to it, I'm like, oh yeah, it's this one. And it's just, I don't feel like the good outweighs the bad enough for me to listen to this. And please tell us how it's your favorite song of all time in the comments. Like that's totally a cool thing if it is. Like again.
And don't unsub while you're at it.
Oh yeah, don't do that. Don't dislike the video. Don't donate to our Patreon.
Winky face. You gotta stop talking about the Patreon and Jess. There's no Patreon. So moving on to the question. Our question for you today is, for the next single, the fourth single, whenever it comes out, which girl that hasn't had a single center yet, so Rico and Chica had the first one, Yo had the second one, and Kanan obviously had Happy Party Train. Which of the 5 remaining girls do you hope gets that single? So Tyler, go ahead, tell us what your choice is.
Nozomi, please come back. Ooh.
Oh, Nozomi hell, free me from this Nozomi hell.
Ruby, did anyone not see that coming? Ruby still doesn't have a technical center, and I'm still mad. I've got to write angry hate mail to Lantis. I mean, that's the biggest reason. Okay, well, no, I do have another reason, but just don't give Ruby a single. Give her a center. Just give her a center, please. How are you gonna have no center songs and then not give Ruby a center? How are you gonna have a song?
Okay?
No. No.
Are you gonna make it?
Okay, so the actual reason. No. So there's a lot of discussion groups, a lot of people who like to think critically about in the same kind of thing we do. Obviously the crowd that we got here who actually watches us consistently and enjoys us. Thinking critically about songs, picking out each girl's strengths and weaknesses or whatever. But I mean, at its core, there's not always going to be a bunch of people like that. There's going to be people who take everything at face value, and it's just this girl's really good because she's in, does this really good thing in this really popular song, and then that's it. People that are just Kadan's great just because of Happy Party Train, or Yo's great just because of Aquarium, and they don't have too much knowledge on it. And there's a lot of people that exist that to this day, in year of our Lord 2017, still say Ruby is awful, despite multiple times, especially recently in her Landing Action Yeah solo and the Ruby Dia duet, and even the flashes
Here
before.
He goes again.
Listen, please, just let me talk about this.
He's off to the races.
How there are still people that cite, why is Ruby bad? Oh, because she said Ohiru Tabete in Genki Zekai Day Day Day. If Ruby got a single, got a whole song about her, and she sang in the way that she's been singing recently, which I mean, it's been a consistent upward trend. It hasn't been a bad Ruby since. It is just everybody will shut up. I mean, probably not, but let's be real with ourselves here. But they will at least see in frontmost, in the foreground, just how good Ruby is. I just want Ruby to just get a really popular song to just prove everybody wrong. Just be hey, remember when you thought I had a bad voice? Psych, listen to this song. And it's just, wow, I can't wait for it. I can't. The payoff for being a Ruby fan has already paid off. Already made our trips to the bank. But that would just be icing on the cake.
Icing on the bank cake. I had to tank on my answer a little bit. The obvious easy answer is for me to say Hanamaru because she's my favorite Love Live girl. And yeah, I totally love a Hanamaru song. And I was I want to spice it up. I'm always looking for this spice in life, So I was what about Mari? Mari's center song would be a Mari single would be so much fun. And I was that might be too much fun for me to handle. That might be a little too much Mari screaming words. And I was who's been super solid lately and I think would be really nice? I was a Dia single I think would be really nice. I think they could go kind of a traditional. I know a guy a couple videos ago said what it was called, but I don't remember. And my retention's about 3 seconds. I'm like a goldfish. But kind of this traditional kind of Eastern Asian influenced song that's you got flutes playing in the background and stuff. Something kind of like Date Date Amujo. I think that would be really good for her. Maybe a little bit lower, but I think that kind of song would be really good for Dia, and I'd really like to hear something like that with the Aqours members, but with Dia singing it. I think we're gonna get a Dia. I think there's gonna be. I didn't feel like we really got a Dia episode in the first season of the anime, and I think we're gonna get one in the second season coming up soon. October, baby, let's go, a month away. So I'm really excited for that.
So people argue that the Majuku Dreamer episode is the third year episode, and yeah, it is, but that's the Mari Kanan episode. Let's be real with ourselves.
That's the gays episode.
Are you becoming like a closet Daya is best girl guy? Like, this is a recent upward trend here.
I mean, probably not, but Daya's been like super solid lately, and I'm like, dude, I'm totally down for a Daya center.
I feel like in addition to a song being naturally lower, that means that Yoshiko will sing naturally lower, and that's a W. That's a W from me.
Get some naturally lower Mari. That'll be goofy.
Some
slow low Mari. Oh yeah, dude, I want this to happen now. Lantis executives that listen to our show, all 20 of you, get to work on this.
What are you doing if you're not making this song?
Yeah, so go ahead and answer the question down below. Drop a like if you're really feeling it, and click that subscribe button. Go check out our Patreon and our Twitter. And our Facebook that we don't post on.
Actually, I posted on our Facebook today and our Twitter today. Come on.
Wow.
Oh,
look at us. Look at us, social media savvy
what do you mean us?
millennials.
What do you mean us? It's me.
I posted on the Twitter. I posted on the Twitter first.
Oh boy, Umi.
Yeah, dude. Look at that ocean. I don't know. I just found the first photo on my phone that was on there. I'm a busy dude. Come on.
Okay, so again, not to say this for the 18th time, but it is officially the last day to ask us questions on our live stream, and of course you can ask questions during the live stream. So link again down below in the description. So please ask us some questions. It'll be fun. We'll have a great time. So all right, I think that about wraps it up, right?
Yeah, I think that covers everything.
Oh my god, do you hear that
we'll probably
plane?
see you guys tomorrow.
Listen to that. Don't actually listen to that.
You got a plane in the background?
I do. All right, see.
There's a train going by my house. There's not a train.
Happy party train. All right, see ya.